Welcome to the Kimball Hooker Show. I'm your host, doing the most, Kimball Hooker, here in Los Gatos with my very special guest today. You have to listen to what we're going to get into because this is about promotion and this is about putting on special events. So it's a little different take on what we're going to get into. My special guest, Mr. Robert Payne. How you doing, my friend?
Doing good. Glad to be here. Thank you.
Good to have you. You know, I watch you all the time putting on these shows, and it's a different thing to put on shows because a lot of people they don't know how to do it, and it's exciting to think about it, and it's something that you go, I want to do that. That looks fun, but it's a lot of work that goes into putting on these shows. And Tortilla Soup has it's a brand. I would say it's a brand. It's a band. You're the man behind that. Could you tell us a little bit how you got started in putting this whole thing together?
Yeah, I said it a minute ago, is this a bucket list? I wanted to play with certain artists. I wanted to do shows with them. And coming from 25 different groups just growing up, I started to get the experience to say, you know what, I think I can do this. The first things first was to find a mentor. And Alan Beck, Pacific Concert Group, Art LeBeau, Dale Berger runs that. Jason Jacobs, he runs all the cruise lines, all the oldie shows, Latin Legends, Super Legends. They became my teachers.
Wow.
And I've been working with them for 10 to 20 years, just depending on which one we're talking about. And they actually hired me to run their stages. They hired me I remember giving towels to Tavares and giving them water. But that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to learn from the very beginning how to do these kind of things. And I did that for several years. I mean, a solid 10 years just doing that until I said, you know what, I think I can do this. But there was a lot of bumps and bruises along the way. And, you know, saying, let's do a concert and putting it together, it is very hard to do.
I can imagine, especially with, you know, the people's personalities and different conflicts, and I don't want to do this, I'd rather do that, and you know that's not going to work. And you know, you have to kind of have a take charge and understand exactly what you want to do, how to get it done, and the connect the pieces to the puzzle together. You know, as far as like radio or I don't even know if they have, I'm aging myself, but like Bass Outlet, I don't even know if they have that anymore. But yeah. You know, the ticket sales and things like that, and then putting the bands together that would actually work.
Yes.
You know, because you could put together a show that those artists don't go well together.
Yes.
You know, so when I look at you and your track record, so the most recent show that I've seen thus far is I think it's Tortilla Soup, it's Evelyn Champagne King, GQ.
Yes.
What made you put a show like that together?
I've been working with Evelyn for several years on the boat and just concerts here in the Bay Area, Fresno, Sacramento, and we became friends. And the last time she was in San Jose, I just said, we got to do it. We just got to have a show. GQ is my brother. He calls me every week, and he was actually the first R&B soul artist I ever hired.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I remember cruising, you know, King of Story, San Jose, listening to I Do Love You, sitting in the park. And my sister had his album. She's older than me, so she was playing it when I was a little kid. And I just said, man, I just love that sound. I love that voice. And it took me a long time to find GQ. GQ is not on social media. And you can Google him, you could this, you could that. I think he is now, but back then, we just talked about it. I've known him for 15 years now. And it took me a minute to find him, but we finally found him. And from day one to today, we are brothers, man.
Nice. The relationship is there.
He opened up a lot of doors for me because once we did the first show with him, he went back and he told Tierra, Malo, El Chacon, all the bands that I hired after.
Right.
It was because of him that opened up all those doors for me. So I owe him, you know, a bunch of gratitude for that.
That's good, man. You know, I love to hear stories where people actually pay it forward.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And
yes.
Because there's so many different relationships you might start with someone and it doesn't go anywhere.
Yes.
You know, they just, you hire them, they get paid, and you never hear from them again.
Yes.
You know, but it sounds like he, you know, he was welcoming you into what would be now a relationship.
Absolutely.
Which is awesome.
And there's many artists that I work with that did that, you know, and you're right. There's some that are just give me the money and they run.
Right.
And then there's some that, hey, you know, there's something there. It's a friendship, a brotherhood per se. And I know who those people are, and they're very dear to me. But again, they opened up the door for me. They showed me the ways, you know. And I like that saying, you never master your craft. You know, I could play or sing for 50 years, and you should not say I know it all. You know, so to learn from those guys, the ones that have successful groups and successful promoters that have been doing it for decades, my eyes and ears are open. I listen to them.
Right. You know what I learned? So I was watching this documentary. I never knew that GQ, it was actually a band.
Yes.
I never even knew that.
Yeah, 4 guys.
It was 4 guys.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
And then the one that they're known for, that was actually a cover.
Yes.
That's
Billy
crazy.
Stewart.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's wow. I saw that documentary and that blew me away because I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they did a tribute to Billy Stewart, and then also GQ covers Marvin Gaye like nobody I've ever seen. He sounds just like him, if not better, in my eyes. He has an album that he put out, a tribute to Marvin Gaye and to Billy Stewart, and he's just amazing. Like I said, he's one of my favorite soul R&B singers ever, and so yeah. He's just the first one to start it for me.
Right. So that would be considered like what, soldies? Is that what they call that?
I say soldies, yeah.
Soldies? Okay.
Yeah, he's definitely on all those soul albums, R&B back in the day.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So talk to me a little bit about like Tortilla Soup. Like how did that kind of form, or how did you put that together?
So I took a hiatus from music. I just got tired of the club scene and stuff, and I stopped playing with bands. I never stopped playing trumpet, but 3 years went by, and I just started getting the itch again to play. And so long story short is I joined this group, and they weren't that great, God bless them, but I said, I'll go sit in with you guys. And one day I went and sat in with them, and lo and behold, some of the members from Malo were in the group, and they saw me play, and they said, "Hey, man, you're pretty good. Why don't you come play with us this Friday?" So I ended up playing with half the guys that were in Malo at the time, and then I started meeting Jorge Santana, and I met Pete Escovedo through that group.
Nice.
And that's how I met Juan, and just all of a sudden, these friends from the Bay Area started coming in on board. And I could just say this, there's not that many trumpet players in the Bay Area. You know, there's like 5 of us, you know, so when somebody can't make some, hey man, can you cover me? And so I started playing with all these different people. But anyway, I got into this group, and it didn't last too long. And the bass player at the time, Ramiro Amador, he was the bass player for Malo for about 25 plus years.
Okay.
We were standing outside in the rain. We were going to go play, I think, with Jorge Santana or something in Fremont at a club. And he goes, "Man, let's go sit in the car, man. It's raining." So we sat in the car, and Ramiro goes, "Man, this sucks. You know, we're standing out in the rain. The door should be open by now," was a sound check. And then he just goes, "We should just start our own group." And I started Tortilla Soup with Ramiro that next week. And I was taking lessons from Mick Gillette from Tower of Power.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
So
okay,
we had Paul, the singer. We had Ramiro, the bass player from Malo. We had the keyboard player from Malo. And I knew Mick from Tower. Mick knew Skip Mesquite from Tower. And they were playing with Lenny Williams at the time.
Right.
So we put the group together. So it was 4 guys from Malo, 4 guys from Tower of Power.
Oh, wow. That's a powerhouse.
And
right
that was
there.
Tortilla Soup in the very beginning. And that was 24 years ago.
I was just about to ask you, what year are we talking?
2003.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So you guys been kicking that long.
So we went 9 years with that group. Everybody left on good terms. Just, you know, hey, I'm tired. You know, I'm going on tour. My drummer left to go play with Chris Kane, the blues guitar player. He went on tour with him. You know, Mick started playing with heavy people. He got back into Tower of Power for that 1 year.
Oh, got it. Okay.
2010. So he says, hey, I got to go back with Tower on the road, which was cool. And it was funny because Mick went out, and then Ronnie Beck from Tower joined our group.
Right.
So
really?
We always had guys from Tower of Power in our group.
Okay.
And it was cool. It was just a high-level band for the first 10, 12 years.
Right.
And then as people started coming and going, I was just filling them in. And the key was I was taught is you get somebody just as good or better, and that's how you keep the band going.
Got it.
And that's what I was doing. I never settled. I rather the band not play if I just have a guy that really can't play.
Oh, mediocre.
I'm gonna wait until I find that person that's good as the guy that just left or better. And that's what that's always been my concept for the group, and that's how I keep it at a high level. I think that's a good goal for us to have. It's successful. It's been successful.
It has been successful. I mean, right now, I would say you guys are like one of the top bands, period, in the BayArea for sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
When people mention, some of the local bands, definitely Tortilla Soup comes up 100%.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah.
But much respect to everybody. We don't. I know what you're saying. We don't do it for that. We just try to keep that level high and have a good time.
Right.
And definitely for the fans and for the crowd. I love our fan base to death. They follow us no matter what we do.
Ooh, you talking about loyal. Yeah,
loyal.
You got some loyal
Yeah.
fans. That's why I'm like, what goes into promotion? You know what I mean? This is a whole different side of this particular show, because normally we talk about singing and the artistry. But as far as, and I even want to know, as far as promoting is concerned, because that's a big part of this industry that people don't really talk about too much.
Yes.
What sort of avenues do you take, or have you taken, or what have you learned behind promotion?
The first thing you got to have is a fan base. Mm-hmm. Okay, if you want to throw a show and you just put it out there, who are you throwing it to? We've tried radio, we've tried television. It really doesn't work. Okay, we have spent a lot of money on doing that, and our ticket sales never went up. What it was when I was playing with Tortilla Soup at a club or a festival, and I'm on stage and I could see somebody in the back doing it. I go, hey man, let me get your email. Let me tell you where I'm playing next week. Let me give you my business card. Well, we started that 24 years ago. We have over 60,000 people.
Oh my gosh.
Now, the 60,000 people that we have, they have all seen us. So if I throw a party next month and I do an e-blast to 60,000, what is the likelihood of 1% of those people or 10% coming? Well, that's what we average. We average 5 to 6 to 800 people every time we throw a concert.
Right.
And those are all Tortilla Soup fans that have come. So what happens when a promoter gets out there and he's a newbie or he's trying to do something, he's just playing Big Bang Theory. Let me throw it out there and let me see who's coming.
Right.
He doesn't know where it's going to.
Right.
We know where it's going to. Right. We know that everybody that gets that email has seen Tortilla Soup already, and the likelihood of them coming back is high.
Right.
So, and it doesn't stop. Every show, if I play on a cruise ship, if I play at Yoshi's, it doesn't matter. I am constantly passing out business cards.
Right.
When I was growing up, 18 years old, playing in bands, the leader always went to the bar.
Right.
And I was always saying, why aren't you passing out business cards?
Mm-hmm.
And nobody ever listened to me. They all wanted to go drink and go hang out. And I'm like, this is business.
It's business.
And I kept that concept from day one. And I think that's why it's successful. Everybody says that wants to be a promoter, let's go get a band and let's go to get a venue. Those are the two easiest things to do. What about the insurance, the lights, the security, the this, or that?
Right. See, it's a lot to it.
There's a million things to do, but you just got to have a foundation. And I will tell anybody who listens how to do it. It's so funny, but nobody asks.
Nobody asks. But everybody wants to know.
And when I start telling them, they don't do it anyway. Yeah. So
it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. And then you're what I like the most is you're in, it's each fan, one fan at a time.
Yes.
That's serious, man.
Absolutely.
That's dedication.
Yes.
And that's not just talking the talk. You're walking the walk. You're doing the work. And your fan base proves it, because I've never been to a Tortilla Soup concert and it was no one there. It's always people there. It's like a line. You know what I mean? You got the lowrider cars in the front, the DJ, you know what I mean? Then you got an opening band. You have other artists there. It's crazy. It's... Anybody just watching this right now, go check this guy out right now. Tortilla Soup, Robert Payne. Where's the website?
TortillaSoupBand.com. On Facebook, it's Tortilla Soup Music Inc. That's our heading on Facebook if you're on Facebook. So those are the two best ways to find us.
Right, and then obviously they can Google.
Yes, Google search. Tortilla Soup Band. Yes,
Google search. Now, so I noticed sometimes you guys will sub a singer or sub.
Yes.
how does that work? I mean, when you're looking for someone to sub.
My eyes and ears are always open. Because we play a lot, we play in Fresno, Sacramento, LA, all that stuff. If I see a girl playing keyboard, I'm like, man, let me go get her number. And I put her under keyboard. If you are in my phone, you're good. Mm-hmm. If it says keyboard and I need a sub or whatever. So basically that's how I do it. If we miss more than 2 people in Tortilla Soup, I don't take the gig. If I call, somebody calls for whatever, a private gig tomorrow, and I go down the list of my band and 2 people are gone, I usually don't take the gig. I just pass. Because it's not fun to me.
Right.
When it's all subs up there, it's cool. If it's something mandatory, it's a big gig or whatever, maybe. But I just don't really like doing the sub thing. Mm-hmm. I like our fans to see the band. That's who they come to see. If I have 3 singers, I want it to be 3 singers.
Right.
I don't want it to be 2 sub singers up there and stuff like that. So that's just me. That's the way I've always.
That's integrity too, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
But on that note, when people join Tortilla Soup, they're loyal.
Right.
They're there. It's very rare. Like Chuck Lounge
right.
has not missed a gig.
Right.
In 10 years.
Wow.
Not one. He's my lead singer.
Right.
He's one of them.
Oh, yeah. Right.
I know you know him. Yeah. And like I said, it's just, I make it very clear as a leader, if you join Tortilla Soup, you have to dedicate. Mm-hmm. If you're playing with 6 different groups, it's not the band for you.
Right.
And the thing is, but I pay them well. Mm-hmm. I treat them well. Mm-hmm. They all kind of say it, hey, I've never been in a band like where you get taken care of like this. But but I also ask of them, and they know that if they do it, they're going to get treated very well.
Right.
So it goes both ways.
Right. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back on the Kimball Hooker Show with my very special guest, Mr. Robert Payne. See ya.
Thank you to the City of Montessorino for their continued support of KCAT Public Media. The City of Montessorino has enabled KCAT to inspire, educate, entertain, and inform our community through the magic of television and digital media for over 38 years. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're back here with the Kimball Hooker Show. I'm your host, doing the most, Kimball Hooker, with my very special guest, Mr. Robert Payne. We're going to dig right in where we left off. I got a couple more questions for you because this is serious with the whole promotion thing.
Yes.
So you have some shows coming up right now.
Yes.
For Halloween, what's the show that you just finished telling me about right now?
We are going to be performing at a Holiday Inn on First and 880 area in San Jose. That's my go-to. I've been doing shows there for at least 20 years. The banquet room is beautiful. It holds 800 people.
Nice.
And so this Saturday we're going to be doing a show with GQ, and we're going to be doing a show with Evelyn Champagne King herself. Nice. And it's a costume party, and it's just it's a bucket list thing that I've had. I've hired them individually, but this is the first time they're both together. And then Tortilla Soup, my band, will be opening up for them, and it's just going to be a good night of music, and it's that's what it's all about, just bringing good acts, good artists to the Bay Area, and keeping it going. I don't see too much of that going on out there, so I just really like to keep that ball rolling.
That's a great lineup too. Just when I think about it, because there's so many hits between those two.
There are a lot of hits, and when you watch them, you forget. Oh man, I forgot she sang that song.
Right.
I forgot he sang that song.
Right.
And next thing you know, but I would say between both of them, they have a solid 10 hits together. Easy, yeah. And it's just that era. That's 78 to 82. When they were hot, and all those songs just takes you back. That's my junior high days. Right. I was dancing to that in a gym somewhere, in 1982. So it's just, it's my heyday, and I'm glad to work with those artists.
Robert, are you from the Bay?
I am born and raised in San Jose.
San Jose, okay,
yes.
All right.
My parents are from Texas.
Okay.
Dallas Cowboys.
Right, I see it right there.
Yeah.
Missing the blue, but the white is fine.
My dad was a big Cowboy fan, and my mom's a big Cowboy fan, and that's how I got it. But my brothers and sisters are Raiders and 49ers.
Nah, I'm a Cowboy fan too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Niners and Cowboys. That's kind of a mixed thing right there.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about your trumpet playing. When I saw you playing the trumpet, that was Happy Hollow. That was the last one I went to.
At History Park.
Yeah, I said Happy Hollow.
The same. They're connected. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how you got into playing your trumpet, and when did that start?
So I'm the youngest of 6. My brother right before me is about 5 years older than me. And back in the day in the 70s, there was no renting. You had to buy it. So my parents bought my brother a trumpet, and he played it for about 2 years, and then he quit, and he put the trumpet in the closet. Well, I was probably 6 years old, and I pick it up, and I used to march around with it. I couldn't play it. I was just marching around with it. Back in the day, you couldn't start band until you were in 4th grade, which was 9 years old.
Right.
I remember going to an assembly in 1976. The song that was out was Car Wash, Rolls Royce.
Assembly.
Yeah,
he said an assembly.
Yeah,
I remember that word, assembly. I was just like, bing, assembly, man. He just brought back some old memories for me.
Yeah, so they had a band in the cafeteria, and they were playing Car Wash, Rolls Royce, and the trumpets, da, 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 and I just went, I just looked at that guy, and I'm like, I want to be him. And I went home, and I told my mom and dad I want to join band. That was 1976, and I never stopped.
Wow.
I've been playing trumpet since I was 9, so I'm going on 50 years.
Oh, my goodness.
Playing.
Right.
And believe it or not, I played Latin music first.
Oh, really?
Yep. My mom and dad loved Tejano music, and so that's ranchera, cumbia.
Right.
And I was on tour with Vanguard, Santa Clara Drum and Bugle Corps.
Okay.
My senior year. I walked across the stage, graduated, and got on a tour bus, and I was gone for 3 months.
Oh, wow.
When I got back, I had 3 bands calling me, asking me to join them. And the first one I joined was a Latin band called Ambiente. They were all out of San Jose State students. Mm-hmm. And that band did very well. We were on TV, we were on radio, and we got to do a commercial with James Brown.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that was the beginning of seeing the other side of stardom in a band and playing. Mm-hmm. I was like, wow, man, this is pretty cool.
Right.
I got it at a young age at 18. Mm-hmm. But then it just went downhill because I was joining other bands and they just weren't as good or whatever. And
right.
But I never look back, and I love the path that I took in music. Playing in hole-in-the-wall bars, playing for $50, 5 hours a night, just
been there, done that.
Everybody's done that, yeah. And you know what? It just makes me appreciate it now. Mm. But a lot of those guys that I played with back in the days, I mean, they're still my friends. Mm. We just went different paths, and that's cool. It's okay. But I love the path that I took. I learned from doing that to say I need to do that to be over here,
So looking back, what would you say, like, you have more passion in, like more of the, I guess, playing your trumpet and being a musician, or being more of a promoter?
Ooh, that's a good question. Wow. I nothing takes the place of being on stage. Mm. When you see, hundreds, thousands of people dancing and stuff, it is a blessing. So I would say that it's playing. Being in a band and playing the music you love, there's nothing, I always say it, I'm blessed in other ways. When I see people dancing and having a good time and saying I created that, or my band created that, or whatever, it's better than any paycheck I've ever got.
Right.
That's the way I feel.
That's a big takeaway.
Yes.
Oh, that's huge.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So, but promoting's a whole different game. It's work. Promoting is work. It's 24/7 months of work, and it's very tiring.
Right.
So, but
are you the only one that promotes in the band, or is everyone kind
of? Me and my girlfriend Anita Garcia. Mm-hmm. She's been with me for going on 25 years. Mm-hmm. We're a match made in heaven per se. When I met her, she hired my band because she worked for Hewlett Packard, mm-hmm. and she was hiring. She was an event planner for Hewlett Packard. Mm-hmm. So any kind of parties, event, she would hire. She hired my band about 3 times. And so when we started dating, I'm like, hey, you know how to do all this stuff already. I didn't know how to print tickets. I didn't know how to do seating charts and computers. She did. She didn't know how to hire a band or run a band or to create a show or anything like that. So
that was a match made in heaven.
It was a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
We've been doing it for 24 years now. I met her kind of right at the time that Tortilla Soup was starting to take off.
Right.
So, but I didn't start promoting in the very beginning. We were just playing. I think 3 years went by, and then I started saying, let me start promoting my own shows.
Mm-hmm.
But she's home right now doing stuff for Saturday. I have no idea what she's doing.
Wow.
But when Saturday comes, I don't step on her toes, and she don't step on mine, and it just matches up perfect.
You know, we all want somebody like that.
Yeah.
That you can just, you know what I mean? Like where it all just kind of boom, it just meshes, it goes well together.
Yes.
Especially with music, because music is a hard business.
Yes, it is. It's very hard. Yes.
Yeah. To just to be able to, you know, be in a relationship with someone that you get along with, that understands the big picture, that doesn't step on your toes.
Yes.
That, you know, can work well with you.
It's very important.
It's very important.
Yes.
Yeah. And you guys kind of like what's that, yin and yang, and you know, you kind of mesh well. Man, God bless you.
Yeah. It's you got to have whether male or female on each side.
Yeah.
You got to be on the same page. You know, musicians get yanked in every direction.
For sure.
You know, and again, you know, back in the day, you're playing at the local bar, and all of a sudden, you're getting called to play in LA or Mexico. I played in Mexico before. You know, it just depends. If you don't have someone that supports you, that's very hard.
It's hard.
A very hard relationship to have.
For sure. What do you see next for, like, where do you see Tortilla Soup going? I mean, obviously it's been 25 years, so I mean, and we want you to have more successful years as well too. But are you building on anything? Are you trying to take it to a certain level or a certain place?
You know, honestly, I get asked a lot, you know, why don't we do our own music? Why don't we this? It's just, it wasn't the path I wanted to take. I am cool with covers. I've always said easy. I want to play great venues, great fans, great money. If I could do those three, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to win a Grammy. I'm not looking to be on TV, anything like that. You know, those days have come and gone, and I got my chance to do that stuff. But honestly, if I could just keep Tortilla Soup where it's at, I'm happy.
Right.
You know, I'm just not trying to do anything big anymore. You know, I get my calls once in a while to do stuff like that with other artists or whatever, but I even pick and choose that. It's just not in my future. Again, doing dances where I see people dancing and stuff, and I see smiling and I take pictures, that is the greatest. That's all I want to do. I feel, you know, I feel like I've been blessed to do that. You know, I'll tell you this, I have never said I quit or I'm going to slow down more than in the last 5 years.
Really?
Yeah. Something in me is saying, am I going to do this my whole life, or what am I going to do? And I'll tell you a true story. I go to bed, I do a prayer, you know, God, what do you want me to do? The next day I got 3 gigs. I'm like, okay. Wow. I just said, okay, man. I said, you don't want me to stop, you know, because it's not about me. It's about my band members. It's about the community, all the people. I get calls if I don't play on Valentine's. Hey man, how come you're not playing? I wanted to go see you. They already know we play Valentine's and New Year's Eve.
And they're looking for you.
They're looking for us. So I just, you know what, if I can bring some happiness into this world, especially today, then so be it. You know, that's what my you know, what I'm getting asked to do, then I'll continue to do it that way.
That's big. You know, you turn on the news, you want to turn it right back off.
Yeah, I don't watch the news too much.
It's so depressing. You know, you turn on the news and there's gunfire and there's disease and all kinds of things like that. And so if you can spread a little joy, right?
Absolutely.
Through your music, especially with what your passion is, what's better than that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Every musician in the world that's been touched, that's what we're here for. I believe we've been touched for a reason.
Right.
And if we can make somebody smile, I always say it when, you know, we could get them to forget about their bills. You know, think about it when they're dancing on the
bills
dance,
ain't going nowhere.
And they're smiling. They ain't thinking about that PG&E bill.
Right.
They just thinking about having a great time.
That's right.
And like I said, that to me, that is the best thing, better than money.
Right.
It's not about money for me.
Right.
You know, so it's about making people happy, playing good music,
right,
and hanging with the boys and girls in the band.
Right. Who's your core? Like for Tortilla Soup, who's your core?
So I got a picture like they're on stage. So Tanya Alota, you had her on your show.
Right, sure did.
Yeah, Joey Jam Flores is my drummer. You got Julian Hoover on guitar, Brian Hankins on bass, and then my singers are Steve Mesquite. His dad was the original member of Tower of Power. He was the saxophone. Mercedes Sherrill, Chuck Lounge, and then I have Johnny Beaumont on saxophone with me, and Johnny toured with Huey Lewis for over 25 years.
Nice.
He was their saxophone player as well. So he's the only kind of star per se in the group. Everyone else, you know, we played with people, but not like those guys. Those guys played with them for a very long time.
Right.
You know, but I love everybody in my group, past and present. You know, I was trying to figure out the other day how many people in 24 years have come through Tortilla Soup, and it's probably got to be 60.
Oh my goodness.
You know, and so like I said, I would say 98% left on good terms.
Right.
Yeah. So, but you know, again, we still talk. Guys that were in my lead singer in the first 9 years, we just talked last week.
Right.
We still keep in touch with each other. We still call each other, and it's a family. Tortilla Soup is a family.
That's what's up.
That's the foundation. It has to be run that way.
I've never been to a Tortilla Soup concert where it was either not packed, or it wasn't fun, or it was some kind of like disorganized or disarray. It's always like boom, 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 and then you guys have all these other artists and or I should say bands, right? That play along with you guys too. Great openers.
Yes.
Great openers. So it's a flow.
I always say it's not an accident.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we take pride in putting a show together. I will sit with headphones on my head and I will listen to songs like what goes into what's going to flow. You know, our lineup, you know, what act is going before this act. You know, and then I got to think of the sound guy. You know, is he going to have problems setting up this group because they have more instruments in this group? There's so many things to think about.
Oh, the back line.
But when the show comes, it's already thought out. It's already rehearsed. Everybody knows what they need to do. I am a stickler on timeline. Don't go over 1 minute. You know, you won't play with me again.
Wow, I love it.
But I learned that from the big boys.
Right.
You know, I went to an Alan Beck show about 2 months ago. It was the Lisa 40th anniversary tour. Okay, I'm backstage, and there's the boss, and he don't got to say nothing. It's running on time.
Right.
In fact, Lisa ended 5 minutes early. I had the timeline.
Right.
He doesn't have to say it. That's the way it needs to be at all the shows. If everybody respects each other and things flow, then the show's going to be great. We could do it 100 more times.
That's crazy. Alan Beck is huge.
Yes, he
does all those freestyle concerts.
Yes.
Yeah, with Stevie B and yeah, those are massive concerts at the Arena, Oracle, and you know, Chase Center.
Yes.
Those are big concerts.
Yeah, and you know what? Like I said, I just like to sit there like a fly on the wall and just watch. You know, and I tell them, I tell them all, I thank you for, you know, let me observe this, because you know, they don't have to say nothing. I just watch how they run it, and of course I take that home and say I'm going to use it, and it works.
It works.
You know, so if we can continue doing that, then like I said, we can do this forever.
Right. But that's great mentorship, though. You can't beat that.
Yes.
I mean, that's like the pinnacle of what you do, which is promotions.
Yes.
Those are great promoters.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're the best.
Those are the best.
Those are the best.
Best of the
yeah,
best.
They have
Absolutely.
a great reputation. All three of them do in the music world, and they're all friends. They're all friends. So, you know, it's so funny. I mean, they all talk about each other. They hang out with each other, and you would think they would be enemies, but they're not. So, you know, they all work together. They do shows together. They book artists together.
Right.
You know, so although they're doing their own thing, they're all in the same car, man.
Wow, that's amazing.
Cool.
Yes. Good to have you on our show, Robert.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you want to share before we cut this?
Again, I more than anything, I never get a chance to really say it, but it's just our fans again. You know, I just thank them for 24 years of support. Just again, to have hundreds of people, sometimes thousands come out to support us and see us. I am very grateful for that. And I'd like to say thank you to Anita Garcia, who's my right-hand woman. She just does all the hard work that a lot of people don't see. She's up till 3 a.m, man.
Wow.
Just constantly on the computer, seating charts and printing tickets and things like that. People would never understand why she does that.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes. But again, we're going strong at 24 years, and I would not have been able to do any of this without her.
Right.
Guys like you that to just keep this music scene up and alive in the Bay Area, thank you, for having us.
Appreciate it.
All the musicians, man. It's just it's a small world.
Right.
We all know each other.
Right.
So it's just we ought to be good to each other, and you know what? We keep music alive and keep people happy, and life is good.
Right. Well, you guys heard it. We're going to end it on that note. I'm Kimball Hooker on the Kimball Hooker Show. Mr. Robert Payne with Tortilla Soup. And thank you for coming on our show. We love having you. See you guys next time.
Thank you.
You just heard the Kimball Hooker Show here on KCAT Radio. Explore all our KCAT original programming at kcat.org/radio.